What's up, you guys? Sage here, Sage CEO, founded Legacy Africa. Started with zero startup capital, 5K's worth of merchandise within the first week. Secured supply chain this year, projected to do 100,000 on the low end. In addition to that, I am an operator within Office Cube, and so there's the chief executive, then there's me, and my guys, and that company's done hundreds of thousands, like hundreds of thousands within the month in terms of revenues, millions in terms of revenue across the years, and yeah, officially from today, I am an operator within that, and I think a lot of the rapid growth that is happening this year can be owed very much to my ability currently to lock down on the quest and continue on the quest and really turn up the knob in terms of becoming the viceless man. I mean, like I don't drink, I don't indulge in women, I don't party, I don't want any of that. I don't want anything that could potentially misalign um, the mental first and foremost, but also um, the physical, the spiritual. I don't watch, porn. I don't like nothing, bro. Like I want absolutely nothing that could take one away from the path and stray one away from the path. I really sincerely am locking in success habits, discipline habits in my life, and I want those to be the things that consume my day. And anything that is not that, for example, I play video games with my little brother for a couple of hours. I might like do things that are not necessarily en route to becoming the best man that I could possibly be. But in my mind, that's a part of being the best man that I could possibly be is I spend time with my grandmother, my family, my younger siblings. I don't have friends. But if I did, but if I did though, I spend time with them. And a friend to me is someone who deliberately decreases your chances of failure. And so I'm actually getting into positions now where when you're on the right path, the right people will find you, and the right people are finding me, and we're collaborating. Like hence the announcement of the project that we're on now. And I think for me, it is very much understanding that you have to replace. You can't delete, right? Like all the time in your schedule is accounted for, and you have to replace all the habits that you take out of your schedule. So you replace, watching corn with journaling. Like I journal every week. You replace I don't you replace drinking with like working out, like eating healthy, like just really trying to strengthen those relationships. With studying, you replace it with and that when I say studying, I don't necessarily mean formal education, but like hone your craft, like really learn about who you are, like go back into history. For me, I've replaced a lot of say idle time that will be used on other things to really going back into African history, going like the delving as deep as the current archives will allow me to learn more about who I am, who my people have been historically, um, our God, how they appeased God, they prayed to God, they thought of God, they reflected on everything, what they thought of the stars, what they thought of, because I feel like in that deep intrinsic stripping of the vices and leaving man bare, um, and then on top of that, being able to really deeply understand who you are and where you come from, I believe allows you to set as strong as possible a foundation for who you want to be, who you ought to be. And it isn't necessarily I'm looking back and reflecting on who we used to be, what we used to do. Um, I'm not looking back at my genealogy, my ancestry, looking for answers to questions I may have, but rather I'm looking back so that I understand where I came from, um, and from that information, I can ask myself, well, now that I'm at this place at this start, knowing what I know now, what can I accomplish? Because if I look back at my ancestry, there's certainly a story to be told of triumph within the fact that I even exist today. There's a story of heroes within that. There's a story of people who made a difference, people who fought and won. And so now that I'm at this place, at this start, knowing what I know now, what can I accomplish? So for me, that's the ultimate thing. The ultimate thing that this year is really the year that I want to look back on within my life and say that, you know what, that's the one year where he did it. He gave, he gave it everything, and it gave him everything back. For once in life, for the first time in a long time, he really got um, what he paid for. He really got what the work may have warranted. And what is very important to me, and something that I'll leave you with, and hopefully you can take away at very least, if you don't take anything away from this video, it's this: prove your worth through your works, not your words. Like I said, I'm African traditional, man. I'm not even Christian, but there's something powerful within scripture, within records of religion, all religions, and there's something very powerful that can be extracted in the similarities between them, but also within the differences, um, and what that has led to throughout history. But that prove your worth through your works, not your words, to me, is a reminder that your hardest workouts won't be recorded. Your early mornings and long nights you will never be credited for. Good. Credit doesn't build the man that you want to become. The work itself does, regardless of who sees, regardless of who knows what you put in. And whenever it gets hard, I get excited because it means that it will be hard as hell for anyone else to follow and do what I do to the level that I do. So that's the personal brand, that is the physical fitness, that is the professional life, that is the spiritual life. All of those being elevated and pushed forward at the same time, multiple spinning wheels, multiple spinning cogs. I'm exhausted. I'm tired. I really am, but I don't work a day in my life. I give. I give to my gift, to my talents, to my God, to my very DNA. Like, I want to work. I love to work. I want to build. I want to create legacy. And that's what fuels me, and that's what keeps me energized, keeps me wired, keeps me able to produce at this high level. And so for anyone who would seek to follow, I say good luck to you, but hopefully you're working towards and for something bigger than yourself, because that's the only way that you're ever going to stay in the running, and most people won't. And that's why they don't succeed. That's why they don't come out at the end of it, because the success is not what you achieve, but who you become along the way. Anyway, I'm rambling today, man. Like I said, super exhausted, super physically drained, but big things coming along the way, big things really happening in terms of the way we're applying ourselves and the way that life is responding in 2026. And we're hoping to continue down that journey, continue to elevate ourselves and give more energy to what we have going on, and give more energy to you, hopefully, the one or two people who are actually going to watch this. If you made it till this far, I love you. Thank you for watching. If you like the videos, please subscribe. I've been Sage, standing on business. Signing out. Entrepreneurs, Legacy Africa, link in description.